Face come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school, internet.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard,
Wednesday vibes.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the IRONWORX, right here on freeworld.fm. And I'm just feeling like a real jackass. This is like the third show in a row where I only hit either butt or OBS. And this one's a bit of a quandary because I knew that going in. So I very deliberately pressed OBS and very deliberately pressed start streaming on butt. But for some reason, only butt actually started. But we're here. You missed the Dead South covering People Are Strange, which is pretty good. You caught the end of it. But good morning and welcome, fellas. How you doing?
Hey there.
Howdy ho.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest versions of a Doors cover I think I ever heard.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of banjo with the Doors cover.
No. That was pretty cool. I'm here.
Yeah, you're doing better.
I feel like I left too much almost, but I didn't. You know, it was a short amount. I must be I was in a deep sleep or something. Yeah, it's understandable, Josh. You know?
I don't think
it's understandable.
Not that understandable.
You've had some stuff in your life.
But I pressed the fucking button. I pressed the button. That's not right. If I press the button, it should start. Yeah, it's a good excuse. I've had to deal with that at work too. Sorry. Just not been on my game.
Like I said, it's understandable. Oh, well.
How about them Blue Jays, Bearsworth? Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you again, Zack.
Difficulties?
No more than usual. What's up, Trav?
Hey. But I'm just checking because I don't have any sound or anything on the YouTube channel, so there is issues.
Check your volume.
Okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm here with you guys now, so I'm not going to worry about it. If it's all right, don't worry.
Nope, I believe it's all right.
Yeah, it's there. I just heard it. I turned mine up for a sec.
I hear it.
I can never be sure because I'm a moron.
What's going on, Trap?
Just start my day, going for my first pickup.
Right on. Got to get started early.
Yep.
Early bird gets worms or something.
Early seal gets the surf.
And I'm a night owl, you know, so I've got wisdom. So I've got wisdom and worms.
Does God make day owls? I assume that
Do
night.
what?
Does God make day owls? Aren't owls
I
nocturnal?
mean, I've seen owls during the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
No,
as
they're
bright.
not. They're not necessarily totally nocturnal. No, seen them during the daytime as well.
It's just not as prevalent. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I saw one. I heard one in the woods near where I live now. I mean, I've heard them every once in a while, early morning, like this morning, but I didn't hear anything today.
Only about 69% of owl species are nocturnal, meaning that they are active at night and sleep during the day. The remaining owls are either diurnal, crepuscular, or cathemeral. Interesting.
Did you say crepuscular?
Crepuscular. Crepuscular.
Yeah, but what the hell's that got to do with an owl?
Because some owls come out.
Crepuscular means dawn or dusk. Is what the actual term is referring to.
Yeah, and it's crazy, dude. Like when you go from gemology to geology, like the words mean different stuff. So they've messed up physics so bad and turning it into like NASA decompartmentalizing everything to where we're, like over in Germany, what is it? Federal is your local government. So we could be having a conversation, talking and trying to, communicate. I say, oh, federal government sucks. And they all start getting mad and, no, the whatever government, national government or whatever they call it over there. It's crazy how they've taken these words that we all know. And, when you're talking in this as a biologist, marine biologist, this means this. But if you're a whatever biologist, well, that could be something different. I don't know about biology. That'd be more Walter's thing. But yeah, it's crazy how these words are like weapons almost, weaponized.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't ever think to look up the word crepuscular, which is funny because that's typically what I do. I like etymology, but I guess because I could associate it with what we know it is, when we see the sun deep on the horizon and then we see the lines in the sky of the light that come through because of this, that, and the other. So those are crepuscular. So I guess I just never understood it was referring to. What did you say, Walt? Twilight?
Dawn and dusk.
Dawn and dusk, yeah. Potato, tomato.
What was that last one you said there, Josh?
Let's see. It was called cathemeral. Cathemeral.
Cathemeral. I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
I don't think I had either. See if it gives us awake at random times without a pattern. Oh, that's me. Apparently, I'm cathemeral.
I finally have a new word. Thank you for me. Yes. Especially this week. Good Lord.
I know, man. I've been thinking about you a lot, Walter. Both you guys. It's crazy. Because I want to call and see how you're doing, but I don't want to bug you because I know you guys.
You wouldn't be bugging, man. It's just been,
Almost called you twice yesterday, Walter. Just for that
call
reason.
whenever.
I'm usually around.
Yeah, it's just been a rough week on the realm, rough couple weeks on the realm.
Mm-hmm. For a lot of people that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all this. I think it has a lot to do with, we know the show's a show, but we care about and love, not all of them do. People got to work with and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like we're not affected by it because the people around us are affected. or the people in their lives are affected, so it's affecting them and making them, you know, on edge. And yeah. And then with all the stuff going on
Hey,
top
just
of
real
that,
quick, I remember, I think it was Austin on his show was looking at some of the footage and whatnot, and there was a guy that had like a red visor that was talking about how he saw the shooter, you know, on the roof and whatnot. And I mean, is that an do you guys know the video I'm talking about?
yeah, the orange-haired guy.
Yeah, right.
Me
So,
wrong.
is that an authentic video that like they're using as eyewitness account?
I don't know.
Because there's like issues in his statements that I'm just sus on. He said that he saw this guy army crawl up the building. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Who can do that?
It was an inclined roof.
Uh-huh.
He was on an inclined roof. It had an angle to it. That's what the guy was referring to.
Okay, so he was talking. So he wasn't talking about watching him go up the side. He saw him on the roof.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because the guy went and he grabbed his dad's gun, ran to the store, bought 50 rounds of ammo and a ladder, carried the gun, the ladder, and a backpack full of guns through the crowd to the building, propped the ladder up to the building, climbed the ladder, climbed the building, up to the roof, whereupon he did his whatever.
Right.
At least
and then
that's the story.
When the guy was right, and then when the guy was saying that he was trying to like go, there's a guy with a gun. He described the cops like they were Keystone stupid fucking cops, like third. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is eyewitness account. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm done.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I'm going to give it all time to do its thing. I know I'm glad there's people out there that are staying on top of this stuff and downloading videos and all kinds of stuff like that. Have you guys heard, I forget her name now, Cami showed me to me. And this lady, she started in the 70s recording every hour of TV.
I was just thinking about that exact thing. It's so funny.
Yeah, she kept a record of live TV because she said they change it. It's live and then they go back and they'll tweak something or it'll be different or their story will change. So she has, I forget how many thousands of hours, like 70,000 or I forget. Her children said it changed their lives because it was like every so many hours they had to get home to change tapes. It was just, and they were still doing it for the longest time, even after she had passed. But this went on for like decades. Just something crazy, yeah. But and now they're putting it all on a digital archive, so you can go back and watch like live TV from her recordings. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool because, yeah, they could change stuff.
Find out like a link or who she is or some way I can access it.
I'll find it right now for you.
I'm convinced nobody in the actual lamestream media understands what a false flag is. I really don't think they do. I think when they hear false flag, they just mean like, or they think it means like fake. Like it just never happened.
Yeah, just like a hoax.
Yeah.
Just another word for hoax.
Mm-hmm, exactly. They don't understand the concept of a false flag.
Yeah, I think that too. I've thought that before. Yeah. It's like, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you
Right.
think.
I think it means exactly what they think it means. They just misuse it purposefully. I think
Well, that too, sure.
I think they probably know it's a fucking false flag. I think 90% of the shit that goes on is a false flag. But I don't know.
Yeah, her name was Marion Stokes. It's called the Marion Stokes Project. copy this link.
Yeah, but if you think about it, none of us know what they're going to show us is authentic. I mean, everything that we get from them could be totally edited.
Yeah. But she did 30 years of television, multiple channels. That's wild. I mean, that's like that guy that did millions of the those different tests with the fiber optic gyro. He did like millions of tests. You know, it was easy to do electronically, doing his thing, but every day he was there doing them. Like, that's just so much dedication. Just decades of your life to this same thing over and 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 over. The Rolling Stones were on tour. Dude, those guys got to be 80s, didn't it?
You'd think, at least. Fuck.
Late 70s. It's like dedication.
Man, I think Bruce Springsteen looks amazing to me. He looks like he's 60, maybe.
He's another one. Dedication. That's crazy. Somebody said Chuck Norris was in his 80s and he's all young and fit. He was talking about how easy it was. It's like, or maybe his wife was.
No, his wife was, because he can't. I don't think he's
Yeah,
quite the Chuck Norris that we all think Chuck Norris is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, oh, it's really not that hard if you just do it. Like, the guy was a movie star type person. He wasn't out there hanging iron or anything like that. It's not as easy as you think, lady. It's not easy to get famous and have a life of luxury and people waiting on you and nutritionists and all this other crap. And, you know, I'm not saying he didn't work hard and have good work ethic, but yeah, it's a lot easier to look that good when all that other stuff comes along with it, you know, and not the stress of all the other, you know. Some of these.
Well, I think it's kind of like the elites, you know, that are healthier or, you know, spiritually minded. And I'm like, yeah, if you didn't have to work, you know, 12 hours a day and just have all of these distractions, yeah, I'd be a fucking guru too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? You got a life of leisure because you're so opulently rich that you have time to do whatever you want. I'd be diving in deep on health and meditation myself. Not that that's an excuse, you know, not to do it at all, but I mean, there's no way I'm as good as I could be if I'd had more time.
Truth.
Wow. Deals with rabies.
Did you say seals?
Seals.
Damn.
With rabies.
That's gotta suck. It's like a fish. Imagine a fish with rabies.
First big outbreak of the disease in marine mammals, writes Knodel in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Stay out of the water, Kululelu.
Imagine being
That's
hydrophobic,
sequel.
but living in the water. You'll just go fucking crazy.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. They've been biting people, seals. In quotations, everyone was paddling to get away. It's happened to me dozens of times. I'm riding a wave, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a black shape coming up beneath me. Being in Cape Town, a great white shark hotspot, it's hard not to assume the worst. But fear soon gives in to relief when it just becomes clear, sharing a wave with a Cape fur seal. Because sometimes they get so close you can see the bubbles on their whiskers, and usually it's just fun, you know. These guys love it's. They got crazy pictures of seals riding waves with surfers, like multiple seals in a line with a guy surfing. Cool. But now 9 seals, allegedly, it doesn't say that, but have tested positive for rabies. The world's first significant outbreak of the disease in marine mammals. 400 miles of coastline there, 600 kilometers, where these attacks have been happening. They say usually surfers would enjoy the interaction, but now everyone was paddling as fast as they could to get away. A single seal bit several surfers in a matter of minutes. Another one swam ashore, and they had horrific facial injuries. Yeah, so they've been testing them and seeing what's going on, and they're claiming it's rabies. Now, that's only in mammals, right? Rabies?
I don't know.
I've never heard of, like, shark rabies. I've heard of a sharknado, but not shark rabies. Let me see. Let's see what's going on with the old rabies. I've never seen an animal with rabies. I mean, I have seen a raccoon out in the middle of the day, in the middle of a cornfield, just like walking around in a circle. I was always told that's what you look for. That's probably rabies. If you see a nocturnal animal out in the middle of the day, just acting all strange, running around in like a circle, not like just for no reason, it's weird. Rabies.
Rabies. Not for nothing, we've damn near done this whole first segment.
Wow, we have. I think it is just mammals. It says any mammal can be infected with rabies. Huh. I don't know. There's only been a couple cases where people have survived it. I'm pretty sure. Like one of those 99% deals.
And see, it says here, who gets rabies? All mammals, including humans, can get rabies. That's not true. It's a great thing about the possums. Don't think possums can get rabies. Interestingly enough. But yep, that's the first segment here of the Ironworks right here. freeworld.fm. You can also find us over on the YouTubes. Look for us at the ironrealmmedia YouTube channel, and that's where you'll find us live, mostly.
Mostly.
But Liz gave us a song request here in the chat. One that was dedicated specifically to Cami for her birthday celebration. So here's a little bit of Nightwish with Bless the Child.
Yes, I drank from the cup which was scalding my time. Yes, the poison drop in this cup of mine. Do you dream it is the fall of the left-hand blind? To make a memory. So bless that child from the time. Think of me long enough to make a memory. So bless that child from the time.
It's not having access to 1 million industrial-grade products that's so amazing. It's the feeling of no...
Fucking YouTube. Welcome back to the second half of the first half. The Ironworks. You know, at least give me a buffer there. A few seconds. Give me a chance to shut. But that was Nightwish. Dedicated out there to Miss Cami. Hi, Liz.
I was just thinking the same thing, Liz. Josh could have had a shower, shaved, made another coffee.
This one might wake you up. This one might get your blood pumping a little bit. So you hear the new law that passed in California?
No.
I can't wait.
This law has actually caused Elon Musk to move SpaceX and X headquarters to Texas.
He's done with this shit.
Yep.
He's had all he can stand, and he can't stand no more.
Nothing to do with taxes or anything like that, or DEI or any of that stuff. Got nothing to do with that at all. Oh, I know a gentleman who's in the call, but I don't know if he's spoken yet. He may be just listening. But yeah, this is kind of crazy. It happened. Saying it's only 12 hours old. This one. New law bars school districts in California from requiring parents to be notified of a child's gender identification change. Hmm. You know, you know, things are getting kind of weird on the old West Coast. They've been making it easier and easier and easier for, I don't even know if I'm allowed to call them that anymore without getting, I'm not calling them their nice name they like. We'll just say it, pedophiles.
Kitty fucker.
Yeah, there you go. You like that one?
That'll work.
Works for me. But all these new laws allowing them to get shorter sentences and getting, safer this and that. And
almost like George Soros funded a bunch of people that would follow this same playbook all across the country. And same shit going on in California is happening in St. Louis, Missouri as well. Not to that extreme, but crime is up, prosecution is down.
Yeah, that's how it starts. Oh. Understand that people want freedoms and this and that and yada, 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 but there's places for things. And yeah, I get it. People have their fetishes and this and that, and people can do what they want, right? But in public, in front of children, and in public schools, these are the people that haven't developed yet, don't know things yet, are very influential. They get
easily influenced.
Yes, easily influenced. Sorry. They're steered easily. These people are predators. They look for children. There's got to, I don't know. It's crazy what they're doing. And I get it, because it's not an easy thing, because in prison, these people become targets. You talk to anybody who's done any type of time in a prison system, and those people do not want people to know what they've done. And if people do find out what they're in there for, they get put into like solitary, not so much solitary, but it's like a different, like where all the cops and places like that, protective kind of. And that costs extra money and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And there's a lot of them. So they're making the laws easier so they don't have to house all these people for that long of a period of time in these special conditions.
What happens when private prisons aren't as profitable as they thought they were going to be?
Exactly.
Oh, shit. Well, that's not working. All right, well, fuck, let them go. Let them back out on the streets.
That's our bottom line here. By actually doing what we, signed up to do. It's not as profitable. I'm not going to get my golden bar next to my pool, my third pool in the east, garden. No, not the southeast garden, the east garden, silly. Yeah. No, that needs to change as well. The whole lawyers and judges owning stock in prisons. No. Conflict of interest much. But it starts at the top. When the lawmakers themselves are doing insider trading with the stock market blatantly, it's not even a question. They've been called out on the mainstream dinosaur news media. And they just laugh about it. It's a free market. We're free Americans. We can do it just like everybody. No. You have special knowledge. You're setting the laws, which are going to then affect this system. You don't get to go buy a bunch of stuff and then change the law, which then boosts this company up dramatically. No, that's called crime. That's, and anybody else would get in trouble for that. Yeah, as much as I can't stand Elon Musk, it's this kind of stuff that, I agree with him.
He's definitely going to fill that role, it seems. He's, the way I understand it, will be donating $45 million every single month to the Trump campaign.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him having a conversation with Don Lemon, one of these talking heads from the Idiot Box, about free speech and about how he's just, he's there to champion free speech. I think we are, I don't know. I don't. It's not often that either an assassination or an assassination attempt doesn't signal massive change. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely brought about some change in me. Fuck Jack Black.
Now, I don't think it's Jack Black's issue. I think Jack Black did as much as he could do to, what's the word I'm looking for? Minimize the effects of, what was that? What's his name? Kyle Glass?
Kyle Gas.
Gas, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. Up until, I guess, I'm really not sure exactly when it started and who it started with. I can't say. It was such a gradual thing. It kind of snuck up on me. And I live in the comedy world. Like, I watch comedy specials. I read comedy out of comedy is my gig. Besides music, it's comedy. And comedy used to be about pushing the edge of the envelope to the point of bringing attention to things, and people would go, oh, and be shocked and shaken out of their normalcy and their complacency and their robotism by statements that would shock you. That's what a laugh is. Laugh is an involuntary reaction caused by a shocking statement. It isn't a planned, eased through, contemplated. It's a fucking gut reaction. There's a reason you kill the audience. I slayed tonight. There's a reason those terms are what is used in comedy, because it is a visceral thing. It's not a ephemeral thing. Comedy is visceral. It's a gut fucking reaction. And so that's what comedy was for me growing up. I listened to George Carlin and Richard Pryor, and later on went back and heard Lenny Bruce and a lot of the people who formed a lot of Bill Hicks, or, whatever you want to call him. And so when a comedian who started their fucking career by being in a band which put out videos about drinking another rock star's sperm, giving you a better voice. Put out videos about he and Kyle Gass having a shit baby together after they tripped on acid in the fucking desert. Put out shows about Satan. Put out shows. Push the fucking envelope. Did comedy, which is what fucking comedy is supposed to do. But then I don't know. He did his fucking rituals. He did his sacrifices, whatever the fuck he did, and he got in with that dude, that John Cusack movie, and got big. And from then on, he became a movie star, not Kyle Gass. I mean, the other half of Tenacious D with Kyle Gass. And at that point, he pulled a real dick move and left Kyle behind to me. So I kind of already was like, fuck you, Jack Black. But then they got back together and they did an album, and it was kind of funny, and did some like little cartoons, and they were kind of funny. And so it felt like he was bringing Kyle back into the fold, and they were buddies again and having a fucking good old time on stage, back on tour. And I was excited because I got to see Tenacious D on stage in the State Palace Theater at the height of the fucking Tenacious D thing that happened back in the early 2000s. But this shit. So Kyle, his birthday, they're on stage. Where were they?
Australia.
Yeah, okay. And they're on stage, and the cake is brought out to Kyle, and Kyle says, as he's asked to make a wish by Jack Black, don't miss Trump next time. Like a comedian would do. Not at that second. Stop this concert. I'm fucking in dire whatever. Not let's what? And I'm over and walk off stage. No. After thinking about it, contemplating it, realizing what he could use to make it a bigger step in his own career, I guess that's finally what I figured this must be about. He has now stopped the tour and like made a huge statement. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech, blah, 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 and his statement on Instagram, on Insta-fucking-gram. So he has felt it inappropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. On top of that, I've also found out behind the scenes here that like Kyle's management team has dropped him, his booking team has dropped him. So this has derailed his career completely. Jack's fucking reaction is what did this. Not anyway, it's fucking ridiculous. That's what it is. To me, it's fucking ridiculous that comedy doesn't exist anymore in this fucking world. All right, rant over. Good Lord.
That's,
you've got a point.
I don't know. It's real close. That's real close. I mean, even if you had to drop that last word, might have saved his ass. Because not all speech is protected speech.
Nope. You're not allowed to call for, violence against a person or property. You don't yell fire in a theater that could endanger a bunch of people's lives.
I don't want to go to the theater with you. What if there's a fire in the theater?
Well, then you can yell fire, but you don't just go in all willy-nilly and say, hey, there's a fire. Everybody get crazy and trample each other while I watch and record it. That'll be funny. Yeah, that's not okay. You're endangering people from what you say. Their reaction is most likely going to cause harm to somebody.
Because I've
not
waffled.
Saying I would like to yada 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 after that. That's different. We hear that just about every day. Oh, that person drives me nuts. I'd like to beat him sometimes. Or whatever. I'd like to this verb, that noun. But it's never like, go do this for me. You know, that's when you get into trouble. And it's against the law. I mean, that one Hitman movie was pretty funny. He pretended to be a hitman and he worked for the police. So when people were looking for a hitman, they would hire him, and then he would, police would be sitting there listening and just asking another person to hurt another person. However, in itself is a crime. So yeah, I mean, you really got to watch what you say about all this type of stuff.
I don't. Sorry. And I just dropped in chat one of the most hilarious fucking comedy routines ever put on fucking film by Bill Hicks. And it's about advertising. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. And if you don't, it's in chat. Again, I'm not going to rant about this any longer.
Yeah, no, comedy's definitely changed. It's like, oh, you can make fun of this person, but you can't make fun of this person. And that's not comedy. Comedy is supposed to bring us all together so we can all laugh at each other together and realize that our differences are okay. We're all the same in other ways, right? We can all laugh about each other and our differences and our similarities. But yeah, now they're trying to use comedy as a weapon to divide people, and it never works. It's just not funny. We'll get off that topic. I know that's one of yours, Walter, that hit you hard. Oh, come on. Don't give me all this nonsense. France 24. Whatever. Okay. France24.com. Melting ice caps slow the Earth's spin, lengthening days at unprecedented rate. Have you heard this?
Well, how long's a day?
So
now?
between the chewy nougat center slowing down and backing up, because we already talked about that, and now the ice cap's doing it. So basically, the Earth's just going to stop spinning. Is that
Allegedly.
where we're heading?
A new study says that the melting of the polar ice caps is causing our planet to spin more slowly. As the Earth turns more slowly, the length of day increases, intensifying the effects of a warming climate.
Well, that means that they can measure the rotation.
That's what they're saying.
I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see it too. It's a new study out Monday.
No.
Shows that the melting of polar ice caps is causing our planet to spin more slowly. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. You've said that once already.
If you Google Earth is speeding up, change that to the news, change it from all to news. And I'm looking right on my screen. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. A faster spinning Earth may cause timekeepers to subtract a second from world clocks. Earth is spinning so fast it will soon lose a second. Polar ice is melting and changing Earth's rotation. It's messing with time itself. And that's from CNN as of March 28th, 2024. So that's just space lettuce you got there, Zach. You just got a big mouthful of space lettuce. They served it up piping hot, and you took it and swallowed it. Or maybe I'm talking out of my ass, and this polar ice melting is speeding up Earth, and yours has one where it's slowing down. I didn't read it.
Well, this is saying that it's because there's more water at the equator if the polar ice caps melt. And like when a figure skater does a pirouette, first holding her arms close to her body and then stretching them out. So when it's close to her body, she's spinning faster. But as that bulge gets bigger at the equator and she stretches her arms out, it's going to slow us down. That's how they're saying this one. Because it isn't really a sphere. It'd be more accurate to call it an oblate spheroid that bulges somewhat around the equator. A bit like
a pear? Like a pear? Sort of like a pear.
Yeah, like a satsuma, whatever satsuma.
A little chubby.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
A pool ball, right, Neil? About as oblate as a pool ball. The Earth, when you scale it. Yes, it's miles, and to us, miles are big. But to the Earth, a mile is nothing. If you took the Earth, 24,000, say it's 24,901 miles, right? From one side to the other, they allow us to walk. And you scale that down to a pizza tray. A human hair set sideways on there, that's like almost 5 miles right there. The width of, not the length of the human hair, that's always going to be different, but the width of the human hair is over 5 miles. So, a mile is nothing when you're talking about that pizza tray. So your oblate spheroid is about as spherical as a pool ball. It's almost a perfect sphere when you scale it. So yeah, this whole oblate spheroid is nonsense. It's about as perfect as a pool cue. Then they're going on to talk about earthquakes and volcanoes. Oh, dude. I got a good speaker that Nathan had donated before. It's a big JBL can speaker, and I went and got a piece of sheet steel from that metals place I found. I'm in love with that place. And I got it to work.
Nice.
By creating the patterns and stuff, the cymatic patterns. I need to paint it now. I just wanted to make sure, and I'm not going to blow this speaker. It has a thing on it, I think. It's got a bunch of electronics in it, and it shut itself off once already. So I learned, don't turn it all the way up. And I'm learning. But I need to just tape the knobs down so I can't see them. I do. I turn knobs. That.
It's hard not to.
But dude, you can watch and see how, like at 35 hertz, I think right around there is the last one of the Schumann resonance. That's a constant frequency, like almost always going. I think it starts at 3, and then the 7.83 is, what we call the Schumann resonance. That's the most prominent one. But then it also goes to like 14, somewhere in the mid-20s, and then I think it caps out at 35. And those are the ones that we can always record, but some are stronger than others, especially in different places. And it's crazy because I can turn up the frequency to 35. You could see the plate shaking. You can see the movement. Wah, 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 wah. You can hear it. But the sand isn't moving at all. No matter where you put the sand doesn't move. It's not until you hit that resonant frequency that you get like the earthquakes and stuff like that. You can see this. Sometimes you can get the sand to move just a little bit, and it creates like islands or a continent, if you would. And you start playing around with the frequencies like a slide, and you can almost draw with this thing if you had enough time. But I mean, I'll be able to show patterns and stuff like that and whatnot, but I'm more interested in showing people how the creator, allegedly made this place through sound and, frequency, vibrations, still being created right now. And at 35 hertz, You can sit there and watch the thing move, but the sand on top doesn't. No matter where you put it on the plate, the sand doesn't move. You turn it up to 37, and it all starts shaking like crazy, like an earthquake. And you hit other frequencies, and it does. Yeah, it's really neat, really, really neat stuff. That's gonna do it.
It is going to do it.
Oh, wow.
Right there. That's a whole half of a show. One way or the other. Stick around. I expect we've got some more space letters coming up on the other side. Were I to guess. So until then. Here's a little band called Chinchilla. Featuring a fella named Ren. How to Be Me. This is the IRONWORX, freeworld.fm. Stick around.
I don't feel safe in this bed. There are voices in my head. I've been talking to the dead, and the fear baptized me. My kingdom turned to dust, and I watched all my riches rust. Have I lost a Midas touch, or do sad eyes blind me? Over and over we go, over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me home, and it suffocates me. Oh, I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. All I know is I forgot how to be me. I don't feel safe in these holes. There are bruises on the walls. There are bodies in the floors, and they breathe so loudly. I wish I could move, get up and walk right out this tomb. Do our saviors die too soon? For my sins surround me. Over and over we go, over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me home, and it suffocates me. Oh, I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. All I know is I forgot how to be me. Hallelujah. Where is my God? Where are you? Hallelujah. Nothing is pulling me through. Hallelujah. When I don't know how to be. Hallelujah. I forgot how to be me. When he gave up the fight, a quick decision lay in the night. You stayed with me for all of my life. I miss you so.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter, that is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard,
Fucking thing sucks! You dumb bastard.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the IRONWORX right here on freeworld.fm. Yeah, well, you could also find us over on
Yeah, we're around. This Friday, we're going to be having fellow truther Jesse Hall from. Now, I was on his backup, the High Vibe Love Tribe channel here on the YouTubes, and he also has another one, the Missing Link Live, I believe it's called, channel. And he was up to about 20,000 subscribers on 2 different channels and was, cut down for, speaking about the truth. We've seen it happen to a lot of people in this community and, countless number of peoples in other communities when you add them all up. Seems like certain people, when they start getting a little too much momentum, that wave gets a little too big, they come in, chop it down a little bit, put up barriers to try and break your wave. But I don't think they're going to stop Jesse from doing what he does. He interviewed me last Tuesday, and you could just tell the people in his tribe, his people in his chat comment section and everything, it reminded me of the Iron Realm. It was really good-hearted, nice people, the ones that were Globers, because it's not really, it's just truthers. And not everyone has, opened up to the flat earth yet. It's hard to watch that first video. But there were still really nice people, There was one guy who was, just throwing some questions out there and said, we could probably do stuff like this all day, but we're not here to do this. And now that's a nice way to end it, the conversation. Instead of saying, you're all a bunch of retards, I'm leaving, I'm not listening to this stuff anymore. There was none of that. So he's really cultivated just a nice group atmosphere there on his channel. So I think he's going to fit right in when he comes to hang out Friday. I think you guys are going to like him too.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. I am. Sure.
Are you going to be able to knock out that thumbnail? Or shall I work on it?
Yes, I can.
See, we can get that done and up today. I'd give him a couple days to.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll work on it after the show, and then you can get it up a bit later after you get home.
Sounds like a plan.
Right as we began, I sent the stuff from our text over to Telegram so I could access it. I would have already gotten on it, but this week's been kind of nuts.
Yeah, I imagine.
I just came across something from The Verge. I don't know what The Verge is, theverge.com. Never been easier for the cops to break into your phone. The FBI said it gained access to the Trump rally shooter's phone just 2 days after the attempted assassination. I would probably say they gained access a lot sooner than that. Maybe the FBI had gained the access, but
well, I mean, they probably had to have access to send out that beep sound that he heard triggered him and got him moving.
To send out the numbers.
Whatever his passphrase was. Banana, train wreck, Cubert, I don't know.
Or calling for violence against the moon. Now, if you call for violence against something you can't hurt, is that illegal, Josh?
Calling for violence against like an inanimate object or like a psychopath?
You know, like the moon. I said, shoot the moon.
I think you'd have a hard time getting someone to actually sign a statement stating that they've been injured, that you've wronged them in some way. If the moon is the victim, I don't know how the moon would sign that victim statement.
I'm saying. Now, what about collateral damage, though, maybe? What if they shot at the moon, missed the moon, like everybody else who's tried to shoot at the moon, but the projectile then falls and hits, an astrophysicist, causes him to bump his head.
Well, then I think you might run the risk of the astrophysicist either becoming smarter or dumber. Either way, he'll still probably be able to make his mark on a victim statement stating that he's been injured. And if he could hold somebody liable, then I suppose he could still do that. Trick is holding somebody liable on an errant bullet like that. The real question is, according to Post, is why do you want to hurt the moon, Zach?
Oh, no, this wasn't me who said shoot the moon.
What did the moon ever do to you?
It was the detective in Up in Smoke who said to shoot the moon. So I took my gun out and I went outside and I shot at the moon. Right in the middle of the movie. Now, would he be held liable or would I? For being so silly to think I could shoot the moon and didn't pay any mind to where my projectile was going.
I think you would be held liable. I don't think a reasonable person would think that they could even shoot the moon.
What if I thought I could, though?
That's okay. It's 2024. People think all kinds of stupid shit.
I believe my bullet strength, though.
You're entitled to believe stupid shit. You have a right to believe stupid shit like you can shoot the moon. I just think it's unreasonable.
Bullet as a moon killer, Josh. Don't quite understand this bullet. It's a different type of bullet. It's special. Should have explained it better. But it talks about, new tools that the FBI has for phone hacking and things like that, which is not new. The FBI have had this forever. They've given it to the state police, and it's starting to be spread among county police officers, I've heard. No, I'm not seeing the name. Oh, yeah, the technology is Hush Hush. Yeah. Last year, TechCrunch reported that Celebrite, I think it's a creator of the device, asked users to keep use of its technology hush hush. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Jeez. I have little doubt that Quantico will be able to break into this phone. So, Pete. So, yeah, all the different gizmos and gadgets for keeping things safe and yada yada. That's to stop, honest people, to keep honest people honest, or even make a hiccup for, the bad guys. But these people, there's no stopping what they can do. Yeah, the device that state police had already had years ago was called a Stingray device. Check into that. You'll see some crazy stuff that they've been doing for it. And you got to think, these people are just people. Once they put on their badge and their gun, doesn't mean that it makes them an honorable, good person right then. With this technology, some pervert could get it and just sit there and listen to your calls and read your texts and go through your videos and your pictures and all that kind of stuff. Oh, but they're going to need a warrant. No, they need a warrant if they're going to use that against you in a court of law for some reason. Then they need a warrant. Otherwise, it's just a pervert with a device that has free access to all your info on your phone. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. That's why I don't do a whole lot of crazy stuff when I have my phone camera. I always have it facing another way or covered up or whatnot because, it's not just, the FBI or the state police who have this now. And you find out, they're just people too. But yeah, be careful what you do around these devices and whatnot, all this different stuff.
So my question is there a deep web, dark web like place where everybody's, intimates are like broadcast? Because you would think that if people could access what you do visually, like they can see you, like he doesn't know we can see him. That's like, don't you think that people would be putting that stuff out?
There's probably Truman Show stuff out right now.
What was the comedy movie from the 70s with all the crazy mishmash stuff of like a late night TV broadcast, and they had like movies and documentaries and news programs. And during the news program segment, as the news is going on, there's a couple watching on TV, watching on their couch, making out. It's progressing. The news guys are all stopped. They've completely lost thread of the news, and they're watching the couple make out. That's what the whole joke of it all is. And I always thought to myself, lies on news, truth in the movies. Oh, Kentucky Fried Movie. It finally hit me what it was.
Thought that sounded really familiar. It was like, I haven't seen Kentucky Fried Movie
it hit me.
Decades.
I've only heard that name. Yeah, I've never seen.
Oh God, Travis, it is so good.
I'll have to check.
Like I said, it's like if you woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and turned on the local whatever channel back in the 70s. This would be what you would be watching as it went by. Yeah, it was great. Great stuff. I'm going to go find it now and watch it. I'm sure it's on one of those streaming channel things you guys all use. We have a dream of great magnitude. You have my gratitude. Sorry. If you're in Aries, you can expect big surprises. All right, I'll stop.
Yep. Good Lord. This segment's almost already over.
It just started.
I see Post dropped a link in the chat there for you, Walter. Shout out to all you fine folks in chat. Speaking of which, see you there, Austin. Also shooting the moon.
So I just watched a limited season or a limited series called Happy. The guy who was in Law and Order, his name is Christopher Meloni, I think, or Maloney. It is a deeply disturbing series, but it's very entertaining. It's very well written. It's got great comedy, great humor. His acting in this is top tier. His physical comedy in this series is absolutely top tier. He's just a brilliant actor. And I don't watch him. This is the first time I've really ever seen him. I've seen him in little snippets on Law and Order, but like I've never really seen his range, and it's pretty amazing. However, the underlying premise in this whole series is pedophilia and cannibalism by the elite. And it's just mind-boggling that people just don't get it, that the movies and the TV that we watch when we see things like that, I think are true exposés where they're like showing us, like, look what we can do. Look what we do. You guys can't do this. This is what our world is like. And, you know, this is going on all the time. But what's interesting is that the way that they kidnapped children was like in a Wiggles kind of a program, you know, like a kids program where, you know, kids would show up and it's this big rally and there's just all this hullabaloo and people lose track of their kids and then all of a sudden their kid's gone. Like they show you, this is what we do. This is how we take kids. It's just disturbing, but at the same time, you're like, this is a really good series. So it's that ironic twist of the fact that they're, you know what I'm saying? Like you're engaged, like you're rooting for the bad character. You get what I'm saying? It's like that conflict of interest. I don't know if I'm making any sense on that last part.
The anti-hero.
Oh, not necessarily that. I'm saying like, I would never want to watch a movie about, you know, child kidnapping and like these Babylon style parties where people dress up in animal suits and it's just sex. Like I would never watch that, but there I am watching it now in little snippets because the storyline is like bigger than that. And so like you make an exception for watching stuff that's probably not really profitable for you. I don't know if that makes sense either, but yeah, I wasn't really talking about the anti-hero part, but I was trying to use that as an analogy. But anyway, in the words of Walt, I'll stop talking.
Ain't nobody else gonna. Might as well. It's just one of them days.
Sorry, yes, kind of still. I haven't slept a correct sleeping time yet in the last day or two, so I am out of it. Really, I'm drinking coffee and trying to stay out of the bowls and be alert, but I'm having trouble keeping up with chat. Like right now, I'm answering posts to say, which I don't know if it ever went out or not because Cat walked across the keyboard. That link I had already watched almost to the very end of already at some time in the near past. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you, post. Excuse me. Oh, I did finally get it out there. I'll see it now. What's going on? She just locked something up. My damn. Thing where the keys get locked and it's just going and going and going. I know there's a word for it.
Sticky.
She apparently
Sticky keys.
Yeah. How do you stop that? Shit. I think I stopped. Grace, Boston Ray Mudflood Adventures. I feel like sleep depriving ourselves is necessary to make it in this game interesting. Thank you, Laura. I found it. I figured I got it. Stop. Thank you. If all else fails, Control Alt Delete. But yeah, man, I agree, Ray. Totally. I've been hacking my brain with sleep deprivation for some years now. Prior to all the lack of sleep I've been getting with you fine folks, I was doing it. Yeah, I was doing it when it wasn't cool. Not always by choice, certainly, of course. Sometimes it was the chemicals involved. Sometimes it was just the visitors after the lights went off. But anyway, that's a whole other show. Or 6. Oh, don't get me wrong, Regina. When I can finally get that sleep, I love it as fucking A. I love it. It's getting there first is the biggest part of it. And then staying there in a willingness to know that if things start going awry, I must be ready for battle. And at the current state I'm in, I'm not. So that lets me know subconsciously not to get to that deep state that allows me to go to those places or allows those entities from those places to come to me, vice versa, whatever. I know that subconsciously I'm not ready for it at the moment. My defenses are down. My energy is depleted. I spent a lot of it on Monday after the show. So, I don't know that everybody in the show actually knows what happened Monday. That actually happened after the show, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Christ. Okay, so, yeah.
Actually, you want to just hang on to that. You only got about 2 minutes if you want to wait, or if you can do that in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it. Okay. The outside cats, one of them had over time become a little buddy. Thought he was a male. She became a female. I thought she got a little older, and I began to be able to really tell she's a female. But yeah, a little pea turkey, the white one with the black ring around her tail, was not at feeding after the show Monday. I went out and fed, and she had been there the night before for feeding, and she never leaves. She's my buddy. She comes in the house to see me when I'm doing clothes, like she was my little outside buddy. And so as I began to decide she had either, just gotten sidetracked somewhere on another, she gets under the neighbor's house, etc. Came in the house, and as you come in my back door, you can look out a series of windows across the road to this museum that is here in town. And I saw her in the road. So, and up until that moment, I had never seen them cross the road. Like, they played in the yard, climbed the pole right next to the road. They knew better. Cars would come and they'd back away from the road. So whatever it was made her go in the road at the wrong time Monday. So I had to deal with that Monday and bury her, which further depleted my energy resources from all the other emotional crap that's been going on prior to that. So, yeah. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, that is what transpired Monday.
Yeah, that sucks.
And, everybody right now feels like are going through either an emotional attack, losing a loved one, as you've gone through recently, and many have. And, I had just gotten through, hadn't really gotten over the whole Nacho incident, still was getting upset when I would dwell on what happened with her. So, yeah, this has definitely been a crazy, crazy last month. It feels like it's been just steady attacks on every direction. But we're all here together. Oh, thank you guys. I'll see you in chat. I love y'all. And that's why, this is our strength. This is our energy. This is our way to get through it and beat those fuckers, no matter what they throw at us. So thank you all. Keep doing it. I love y'all. Thank you.
If I was
You can take
Superman,
it
you
away
guys would
and-
be my yellow sun.
Right? And I have all these other buddies here. Look at him. Here, let me show you. Well, and you can play the song when you're ready.
All right, we'll do that. I'll even keep you up if you want to show your pussy off on camera. And we're going to do a little twofer here. I know that there was a Tom McDonald request, and I'm going to actually check out a Chris Webby, brand new, 6 hours old, hot off the presses, with a song called Sandbox. We'll start off with Chris. We'll end this break with a little Tom McDonald. And then we've got a whole nother segment of the Ironworks coming up right after this.
Strike fear in the heart of my foes everywhere I go. Too raw for the TV shows or the radio. And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know. See, I came for war, with the blood that'll stain the sword, pulling up around the bodies that'll lay on the floor. I'm a category 4, when it rains it pours, yeah, kicking down the frame of your door. I got the hammer of Thor to send shocks that'll rattle your cord, spatter the walls, that's what I brought the janitors for. My hands on the trigger and that's what they've been panicking for. I'll go to war like Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin, or Harrison Ford. And I'm hitting the warp drive, get caught like a fall guy with a to they cross-eyed. I got crosshairs on the hair, on the heads, and the jawlines of my enemies, so I squeeze until fuck it, we all die. I'm only showing up for the blood like a horsefly. I don't care if it's yours, mine, on, or it's offsides. Fuck a line in the sand, my man, that's small time. Look around, what I've drawn on the ground's a fault line. All I see round here is afraid-ass rappers, just a bunch of Diddy party going gay-ass rappers, flying with Epstein when they need to get away, and because they tend to like them underage-ass rappers. Flight log of the plain-ass rappers, sucking dick for the fame-ass rappers. Yeah, this game-ass backwards, just a bunch of fake-ass rappers, making Illuminati hand gesturing like they in a gang-ass rappers. Listen, I used to think if I was actually fire and had the talent to inspire from a track to decipher and worked hard on my craft, I could bridge the gap. But silly me, if I'd spent that time trafficking minors, I'd be sacrificing goats with Jay-Z and B, with a Grammy on my wall, but that just ain't me. What I am is a beast, and ain't none of them ready. The Baphomet can't even save them if they fucking with Webby. Strike fear in the heart of my foes everywhere I go. Too raw for the TV shows or the radio. And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know. Better listen, fucking with Webb's a bad choice, like hiring the Clintons for babysitting. I'm flipping, bust a couple shots with precision. Even the devil second guessing, messing with Christian. No stopping the shit I write. If I got you up in my sights, I can't help but to squeeze one off. No one's off limits tonight. Whether politician or pope to Obama and Big Mike. Pardon me, I meant to say his very masculine wife. Yeah, you could say I'm used to being in hot water. Ever since the thoughts that I got rawer. Sacred cows around me get slaughtered. Duraflame flow when I spark on my fire starter. Don't bark up the wrong tree and don't step in the wrong puddle. Cause Webby's a raw dog, need a leash or a strong muzzle. I suggest you reconsider before you go start trouble. Trust, you don't want your name up in one of my thought bubbles. I started as a cub in the pride, but I grown some. Now there ain't a piece of the savannah that I don't run. Giant with it, follow my FIFA with a faux funk. Solitaire with it, still playing by my lonesome. I am the mic, the microphone shogun. Never give ground, I bow down to no one. Veins pump frozen, blood of the chosen. You'll never see another like me, the mold's broken. I cause commotion, I fit the bill of an apex predator in for the kill. If I don't taste blood, it better at least spill and water the fucking plants on the dirt of the battlefield. Got wounds that won't heal, but left a lot too. That's why they regroup platoons and withdrew. I play solitaire cause they scared to lose. Better run when I come through. Strike fear in the heart of my foes everywhere I go. Too raw for the TV shows or the radio. And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know. don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know.
They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to your racist if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom and afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Fighting can't stop them. You don't have the energy. Y'all want to kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance. Like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong. Cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest? Go hard. Wanna burn sites? Go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom and afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio, and here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's start again. I'm coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo goddamn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but goddamn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. This is last goddamn time. I want somebody to use his fucking brain to not come out of a goddamn record that is, that's up-tempo, and I gotta talk about a fucking dog dying. What is this fucking ponderous, man? Ponderous, fucking ponderous. Now, we're up to a long-distance dedication. And this one is...
God bless it. It's supposed to fade out, but does it fade out? No, of course not. It just starts a whole new track. Welcome back. Fourth and final segment. That was a bit of a twofer there. Chris Webby and Tom McDonald. And I can't say I don't disagree with much being what's said in chat about the love of Webby and the at least questioning of Tom McDonald. I dig a lot of his lyrics, I guess. Not a big fan of his flow and what his girlfriend writes his beats.
He must have just written that one song about the assassination, right?
Yeah, it's a couple days old.
Okay.
And then the Webby song, Sandbox, if you are a fan of Webby. Sandbox is really just Solitaire Part 2. If you're familiar with his song Solitaire, that's all this is. It's a lot of the same lyrics. You just rehashing the shit he's written before. I don't know, but Solitaire's a good song, and I did enjoy that. So,
I found one here from fizz.org. Melting ice is no guarantee of smooth sailing in fabled Arctic crossing. They're saying that the melting sea ice in the fast warming Arctic Ocean is not making it easier for sailors to navigate a legendary shortcut between Europe and Asia, despite popular belief, scientists said Thursday. To the contrary, it was causing thicker, more hazardous ice to choke the fabled Northwest Passage.
wait a minute. Granted, may have hit the bowl a couple times this morning, but did I just hear you say that the melting ice is what causes all the ice buildup because it melted?
It melted and it caused thicker, more hazardous ice to choke the Northwest Passage.
So,
yep.
Gotcha. Because the Northwest Passage melted, that makes the ice in the Northwest Passage
thicker. Yeah. It's all climate change, Josh. Just whatever happens, we're going to blame it on climate change. Thicker ice. See, you're stuck on global warming. Just because something melts doesn't mean it gets warmer. It's just changing.
No, but I do believe that if it gets warmer, it melts. And if that melts, it doesn't stay ice. It doesn't get melting ice doesn't create more ice. Melting ice creates water, which is what you would float on if you're a boat.
This isn't based on logic. This is a physics journal of 2024.
All right, then.
All right, we're pushing agendas here. That's the main goal. Just, flush them with so much bullshit that they only have time to read the top article.
Well, that's because of the melting polar ice is creating shorter days. There's just not enough time left in the day to do everything they need to do.
Yeah, blah, 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 Northwest Passage, blah, blah, blah. They like that word Northwest Passage in this article. I'm seeing it a lot pop up. The number of weeks per year that a vessel can safely navigate actually shortened between 2007 and 2021. Imagine that. Was this the result of an increase in older, thicker ice from the melting polar caps drifting southward into the passage? Hello. This happens every year. It was the older, thicker ice from the center breaking loose and drifting, Josh. Come on, Josh. But the lack of infrastructure, its remoteness, and maze-like shoals and straits make navigation perilous. Yeah. Climate change.
Just stay out of the north, too.
Yep,
Don't go north.
Don't go to the north
Hmm.
or the south.
Ain't
Stay
nothing
right here.
Yep, nothing you can do there anyway. Oh, Shell loves you.
Good day.
Pick up, eh?
Poser.
You're a knob. Hey, actually, I have 3 parodies that I created for the for my very first YouTube content on Flat Earth, where I impersonated a Great White North-esque kind of Mackenzie brother character, and I'm still pretty proud of them. There's 3 of them. I pretend like I'm a glober arguing against flat earthers, but then I present the material in a way that hopefully makes you go, huh, kind of has a point.
Point. They found a 500-year-old shipwreck in the desert. That happens all the time, I guess. In the southwest African desert, filled with gold coins. One of the most thrilling archaeological finds in recent times. Now, this is July 15th, so 2 days ago. And it's saying they found it in 2008. It set sail from Lisbon, Portugal, March 7th, 1533. It was discovered in the desert of Namibia. It's not telling me how far inland it was found, though.
25 feet.
Okay, as the coastline waters receded, Bam Jesus reemerged in the desert. I mean, if it's along the shoreline, you would think somebody would have found this thing over the last 500 years. That coastline was notorious for storms, so finding a shipwreck was hardly surprising. But a ship that discovered like 500 years ago, almost, that is a big find, I guess. Found some cannons on it, muskets, said to be 500 years old. Compasses, swords, astronomical tools, cannons, and even a time capsule. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, would you tell somebody if you found something like this? Would you be like, hey, authorities, come and take all this stuff and sell it to rich people in museums and stuff? Because I know there are laws and whatnot, salvage laws and things like that. When you find treasure, you only get a percentage of it or something like that.
I understand playground rules.
Yep, that's how I operate as well. You don't call the principal over and be like, "Hey, we found this. What should we do with it?"
I found a wallet with a bunch of money in it, and no ID, no credit cards, just a empty, just a wallet full of cash. That's all. Just thought you should know. Not quite sure what I should do. At least they had the forethought to include a time capsule on their shipwreck. That was good thinking.
All right, what are we going to put in this time capsule? Yeah, this was supposed to be around back then. Yeah, some of this, some of that.
You never know. We might just end up in the desert, and they're going to really appreciate the fact that we have a time capsule.
It appears like a passenger on an Antarctic sailing cruise type thing was just scrutinized for bringing her bed onto the deck. So,
what the fuck does that mean, though? Oh, did they stand around her and say, let's scrutinize her? Let's put her under some real scrutiny.
well, no, she uploaded a 15-second video clip of her on her bed looking at Antarctica or an island while she was cruising on an undisclosed albatross expedition ship, undisclosed one.
Okay, so is this scrutiny coming in the form of strongly worded comments in the comment section? Like, I don't get it.
It looks like.
And what are they doing? Like zooming in on the video? Like, how is it they're scrutinizing her? Why? How is it she's under so much scrutiny now that she put her bed on the deck of a boat in Antarctica? I'm just lost.
It all has these people freaking out. Do you know what time it is at the end of the world? They're writing to her. You're out here enjoying beauty and nature, and it's the end of the world.
You have any idea what my color my underwear are? And you're there? In bed? On a boat? On the water and the ice in the Antarctica?
Article.
Here I am with blue underwear. So whining, is that what constitutes scrutiny these days? I'm going to whine and complain about what you're doing.
Yeah. Another one said it wasn't safe, and they'd be scared of rolling off the edge or kicking my blanket off. They were concerned about safety. This is an ad right here. There are so many ads in this article.
Like, how many times have you just fallen out of bed?
That's what they're saying.
They're just going to, no, you dumb fuck. You don't just fall out of bed. Nobody has ever just fallen out of bed. I understand maybe if you're like sleeping and you roll over and you fall out of bed that way. But I don't get the impression she was sleeping. And if you think you would be asleep with your bed on the deck in Antarctica, then you're a fucking moron. Especially if you're scared of falling out of bed. When you do sleep, then you're not going to fall asleep. You'll just stay awake. And if you just fall out of the bed wide awake, you don't belong in Antarctica.
And she's risking hypothermia, Josh.
Okay. I think if you're on a bed, on a boat, on the water in Antarctica, and that's your biggest risk is hypothermia, you're doing all right.
She's tongue to that metal pole and get stuck there. Just saying. People have serious concerns about this. None of them are concerned about, the rules and regulations about not having like anything on deck.
But the fact that it's a nylon comforter.
No drinks, no nothing like that. The drink in her hand. All the stuff that's against the rules for Antarctic travel. There's no mention of any of that.
That's what I would have assumed.
It's all about...
That was the scrutiny I was expecting.
Me too.
Not just...
She could get hurt. She could fall out of bed, Josh.
I suppose
it's not just out of bed, it's out of bed into the Arctic freezing water, Antarctic freezing water.
Yes, I suppose
it's dangerous.
If the boat were to invert completely 180 degrees, she would fall out of that bed and into the water.
Now you're being a little dramatic. I bet it would happen at like 80 degrees.
Yeah, but at that point.
Oh, this is people not filling their days with something productive. They want to just go and comment and this and that on piddly little stuff like this.
I guess maybe that's it. I'm not surprised there's a bunch of fucking whiners in a comment section on some gal's video on her trip to Antarctica. Not surprising at all. It's the fucking internet. What I don't understand is how that constitutes a fucking story.
Yeah, exactly. It is an advertisement. 100%. Oh my goodness. But that's just about going to do it, folks. We
Yes,
do
it
this.
is. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Love you, Walter.
Yeah, love you all.
Love you.
Love you, Zack.
Love you too there,
Rico.
Travis.
Travis just bounced. Too much love for Travis.
Too much love for Travis.
Got off the
Love you,
gate
Andrew.
awfully fast.
Saw you lurking in there. And make sure after Goldbusters you check out, it's an hour after the show ends usually, the Tinfoil Podcast, Tinfoil Sombrero channel. They're having a lot of fun over there. Rico Lowry.
We are.
Yes, you are. It's good time.
I used to wait to jump in until after the show, but I've actually fallen out of bed before, and I wanted to tell the story real quick. It was the day my daughter was born, and we had like this huge bed, like super tall, like, I don't know, a good 5 feet. And my wife loves this story, but somehow I slept and one of my legs fell asleep, and she woke up in labor pains, and I went to like stand up real quick, and my leg just gave out, and I just like hit the floor, like just pow.
So did you stand up on the bed? You were standing on the bed and then you fell off the bed onto the floor?
No. I went to get up out of the bed, and one of my legs was asleep, and I just like hit the floor, like.
Well, that's not really falling out of bed.
Oh yeah, just fell.
That's not like laying there in bed and all of a sudden you're on the floor like, oh my God, how did that happen? Here I was watching television. I don't know how I got here. I'm a fucking moron.
Okay, I understand the difference. Sorry, I just now joined in. I overslept, so. But yeah, I woke up and one of my legs was dead asleep, and I didn't know it. I went to stand up. Like, I would pay anything to see the footage of it. Like, and like, so the whole time my wife is giving birth, like, my right foot is like black because like I really hurt myself.
We should talk about that Friday. Things that we've done that we wish we had on video, or at least other people got to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see last Sunday's show. That was a mess.
All right. Love you guys.
All right, that's all.
Have a great rest
Get back
of
to
your
your
week.
show.
We will see you right back here on the Iron Real Media YouTube channel and on freeworld.fm for more of the IRONWORX. We'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, kicking off at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. That is the Central Time. Otherwise, be good, be well, do good, and do it well. We love you. Bye-bye.